how many episodes of Fresh Prince do you know? The ones with women, over 1,000. So thousands episodes and with women. Give me the 5 things you've learned about women.
I think we're almost at 4,000 now. So some of the top ones that like come to mind right now is solipsism. And when I say solipsism, that's basically like the practice of you believe the world revolves around you. Another thing I say all the time that people think is controversial, I'm convinced that women lack empathy. And then people get mad at me when I say that, and they say, well, that's not true because women are more nurturing. But what they don't understand is that I'm not saying women aren't sympathetic. They can feel sorry for you, but they're never gonna understand your problems, right? And be able to actually be in a position to help you, because we live in such different life paths almost. Because like as a woman, you know, a 21-year-old woman that's attractive or average even is gonna have significantly more opportunity than a 21-year-old man that's extremely good looking. It's not even close. So
they're gonna see the world differently.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And since they get praised all the time, it almost allows their solipsism to go even further, because it's like then you add in social media, you add in the internet, you add in dating apps, etc. And what ends up happening is you take female nature that women already had, which made them hypergamous and naturally selfish, which is a good thing, and I'll talk about that here in a second. And you add on social media, all this other stuff, then it's like putting fucking kerosene on the fire. Now, the reason why women are solipsistic in the first place and inherently narcissists, right, is because they carry the next lineage of human beings. So they have to be selfish and solipsistic and look at the world as my needs need to come first and I don't give a fuck about anybody else, because it's a survival mechanism for their kids.
It sounds like you're saying it's not a flaw, it's a feature.
Yes. And people always bypass when I explain this, that it's actually a feature for them to survive, because, you know, up until modernity, women didn't really have the ability to protect themselves or fend off predators. So they had to have more of a spidey sense to avoid conflict altogether. A lot of guys get butthurt on how women mate select, but that's really what it comes down to, even in modern times with safety. The other thing as well is another big one, which kind of ties into solipsism. If I make a general statement, they will attribute whatever I say to them. So for example, if I say women are lazy because they don't have the proclivity to go out and earn because it doesn't affect their sexual market value, thus they can choose to go to school or not. Women will sit there and say, well, not all women. Or they'll say, that's not true. Or most importantly, they'll say, that's not true of me. Again, this is something that is almost exclusive only when I talk to women. If I'm, you know, sitting around a table with like you and some other guys, and we're like, yeah, bro, most of these motherfuckers, no one's gonna sit there and say, well, I'm not. We're just gonna accept it and say, okay, he's speaking in generalities. You know, everyone understands this. But when you speak in generalities to women, they feel the need to bring up the statistically insignificant minority. It's actually incredible how they do this. And we've interviewed girls from all different types of backgrounds, genders.
I was on there once and y'all had some girls with like
genders,
with the degrees.
Yes.
Because I used to think, man, how can they only find the dumbest bitches in Miami? But then it was some girls with degrees, and I was like, oh, okay.
We brought PhDs, master's degrees, because people think that, because you've been on a couple of panels, people think like it's all just OFOs. No, bro, we got a lot of chicks in there that are career women.
But the OFOs make the clips.
Yes, the OFOs always make the clips.
Yeah, because they come in there with their titties out and all this shit, and talking crazy, pulling guns out.
So the thing is that no matter the education level, no matter the background, most of the time,
generalize. They can't look at averages.
Everything you say they attribute to themselves. Even the higher IQ girls. So I don't know if that's another defense mechanism, but I guess you could say that's like a addendum to the solipsism. Like they generally are solipsistic and narcissistic, and then that's a way that they display it. They're fucking delusional. That's another one. The delusion, I think, stems from the social media. I think women are almost always fairly delusional to a degree, because they love the Disney fairy tales, they love the novels, right? Men watch porn, women read romance novels. So in order for you to be sexually stimulated by romance novels, that means you need to have a vivid imagination.
My girl says guys fall in love with their eyes, girls fall in love with their ears.
Same thing. Or when they read these books, that's why they overwhelmingly read these books. So their imagination is huge. So with them, it's a completely different game between like how we're aroused by something and versus how they're aroused by something.
Not to sound like a bitch, but I think it's because they don't understand the difference between if they fuck like a certain guy, because I fuck some crazy looking chicks, you know, and they catch me at the right time.
Facts.
That's one of the reasons I stopped drinking. long time ago.
Like this inability to discern sexual attraction versus relationship attraction. They're really bad at doing that. They think just because I have options of higher status men, from a sexual perspective, that also is attributed to me having marriage options in men and of higher status guys, and that's a big fucking L. And it's actually incredible how that's another thing that, like, whether high IQ or low IQ, they fail to realize.
We used to call them night fighters. Like,
bitches
you ain't want people to see you with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sneak them into your dorm room or something, you know?
You don't walk them out like none of that shit. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Or like, you know the type of bitch, like you fuck her and then you bust, you like,
yeah. You get that post-nut clarity?
Soon as the clarity.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm like, oh shit, I must have been horny as fuck.
Yeah. You snap back to your senses and you're like, wait, what the fuck?
Back to reality, man.
Bro, if more guys can have that moment of clarity all the time,
man,
bro, women will be obsolete, bro. No porn industry, no nothing, bro. It's a very powerful thing. That's why you only experience it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Because if you walk around with that much clarity, man, now you got, it's like the limitless pill.
I need men to understand that women operate with that all the time. This is how women walk around day to day.
Is that they only have 10% of the testosterone of a normal man.
So that makes perfect sense, because with women, people always wonder, why are they so picky? Why are they so selective? Why are they so annoying and standoffish? It's because they got post-nut clarity all the time.
Yeah, they're not as horny as us. Like the bitches can get horny, right?
Of course.
But they're not as horny as us on average because they just don't have as much testosterone.
Yes. The thing with 10%. Women, when people say, oh, well, women love sex too. Yeah, but they fail to realize that that's only with certain men. Women only get turned on and horny like that when a certain man is around, versus for us, any woman around will help us. So that's one of the biggest differences as well that no one acknowledges.
Yeah, so you know, it's funny, man. Like bitches will be like, why'd that guy cheat? And I'm like, oh.
That comes back to the empathy. Remember how I told you they lack empathy? Yeah. It comes back to that, because they look at it like, this is another one, another example of how they lack empathy. And I actually literally had this conversation yesterday with one of the girls, because they're asking, why do men cheat? I was like, look, if you find your dream guy that checks all the boxes, are you gonna wanna fuck other dudes? No, I'm not. I'm like, okay, cool. Now, do you think if a guy has his dream girl, he's not gonna want to fuck other girls? And then that's when it hits. They're like, oh yeah, he still is gonna want other girls.
You never have to explain to a guy why he cheated, even if he didn't want to, right? I always say, like, fucking Barack Obama, anybody would cheat with the right girl says at the right moment,
with the right risk level. Like they'll do it, bro. So
that's why, like, if you don't want to cheat, like shit I do is like, I just make sure I'm never alone with a girl. You know what I'm saying?
You set yourself up. You put boundaries around it, so you just make sure it's a fail-safe. That's kind of what I do too.
Yeah, anything you want to abstain from, you got to erect boundaries in between you.
Yeah, like, it's like a lot of people like won't keep junk food in their house.
Yeah,
because like that's just one less thing they got to deal with, and they don't have to waste discipline energy on that.
Yeah, that's what I do. Like I just don't buy none of the food that I don't want, and then after a while the cravings go away. If you abstain for something for a long time, the cravings will go away. So it's like anything. You stop smoking weed, you stop fiending for it. You stop smoking cigarettes, you stop fiending for it. You got to erect like barriers.
That's what I do. Like so, for me to avoid partying and shit like that and spending money like a dumbass, I purposely stream a long time, always working, etc. That keeps me away from doing all the bullshit. Because people ask me all the time, bro, how do you live in Miami and stay focused? Like there's so many girls, right? And what I do, and I know you do this too, is like I just like kind of put myself in a position where I'm not gonna be in one of these vulnerable states where I'm gonna be going to the club and seeing girls and there's alcohol here, there's this car rally here with bitches. Like I just remove myself from all that shit.
Yeah, I think it's even more important now, right? Because people know you got a certain amount of money. They know that you're successful. Some of these women, you're a target.
Oh yeah,
like look at Shannon Sharp.
They're predatory.
You know
bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like yo, Brian Johnson, his ex.
Oh yes, you did. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Said he was raping her and shit.
Yes.
Then so she lost and had to pay.
Bro, at this point, if you're not getting a sexual assault allegation, like, are you even working, nigga?
You got to choose your women wisely, and that's why I think like all this like player shit is getting dangerous. It's a new hustle. Instead of they used to just want to have your baby.
So with the whole Shannon Sharp thing, so Candace Owens tweeted the other day, and she said marriage is not a benefit to men, right? She said she understands that, but which one presents less risk? As a single guy and having to worry about potential lawsuits later on when they don't get their way, or dealing with your wife who could take your money. And I was like, okay, this is actually a pretty good question.
She's making a good argument.
Yeah, but what I will say, and I don't like admitting this because I don't practice it, and I know you're not really into this either, but I think the best way to go about this, it depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to just get laid, the best way to go about this is to pay for it, bro. At this point, bro, that is the best way to go about it. Now, I'm never gonna do it. If you want to mitigate risk and avoid lawsuits and people like trying to destroy your livelihood and shit, then
you ain't never did it, man.
Nah, never, bro.
It's just like ordering pizza, man.
To this day, bro, I've never done it. But here's the thing, like, obviously by not doing it, like, and I'm working all the time, like a lot of chicks aren't gonna just show up to my place, so I lose opportunity, right? Because I'm just like not willing to go out with these bitches no more, right? I used to do all that and go on multiple. Fuck that shit, it's lame. So if you're a higher status guy and you got some expendable income and you got some shit to lose, by far the best way is to go with the escort thing, right? Even though I don't condone it and I don't like it, but I understand it's the least dangerous way. Now, if you're gonna get married, right? I think you got to ensure that you do it without the state involved.
Yeah,
and it's like ceremonial only.
You know, so I know like a lot of fucking like rich dudes. Even back in New York, I knew a lot of the hedge fund motherfuckers, like motherfuckers putting up big numbers, you know.
Yeah.
And they were into that shit, right? Like before Wall Street shit, they like super into that shit. And it's not like they couldn't get girls.
It's two things. You mitigate risk while simultaneously making it easier to just get it done.
If that's your only recourse for sexual intercourse, I can see that being like super lame. Listen, Gordon Ramsay orders takeout.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Good. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Gordon, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he can do it.
He can't cook.
Yeah. He just doesn't want to deal with the fucking bullshit. Right?
Yeah. It's
going
like,
to the grocery store, picking up the shit up.
I gotta go to the grocery store. I gotta fucking chef this shit up. You know what I'm saying?
There ain't no cameras around. Don't make no sense. What the fuck? Going back to what me and you've talked about before. I think we've actually mapped this out on an episode before. Cooking is literally. I remember talking to you about this and Justin Waller. What's the magic number? If you make this much, you should stop cooking altogether. And it's actually a lot lower than you guys think.
Like $5K a month.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's not cooking, it's like just outsourcing shit in your life. So when I was like trying to come up, one of the things I did was I stopped doing as much domestic shit as possible because it was sucking up my time. I had multiple jobs and I was trying to build my business, you know. And
when you say domestic shit, you mean like chores and stuff
cleaning,
like that? Oh, gotcha. Okay,
going, laundry. The first thing I did was laundry, right? Because I was living in New York, I didn't have a laundry thing in my crib, right?
Yeah.
So you got to go to the laundromat.
This is unheard of to a lot of these guys. Yes, guys, in New York City, you got to go to fucking laundromats because these buildings are all old as hell.
And a lot of times it's in your building, but it's still like fuck that shit.
Yeah.
You know. So what I would do is I would just call somebody. It was like this Asian place, Chinese place. A dude came, he picked it up. Came and dropped it off that same day. Shit was fucking folded. When I did laundry, how many pairs of underwear I folded?
None. Yeah, me either. I just thought I shouldn't have been.
But then I could work while I was doing that shit. If you work during that time and you make more during that time than you spend, right, as a net positive, then it's financially irresponsible not to do it.
And I guess it depends on who the person is. But I think for a lot of guys out there, outsourcing cooking will save you a lot of time.
Cooking, because now you don't have to go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
You don't have to put the groceries away. You don't have to cook. You're saving a ton of time.
Yep.
Like before, I was with my girl. Like she cooks. Now we eat out a lot, right? But she'll cook and it's good. But when I was single, man, meal preps.
Yep.
or just order Uber Eats. The meal preps, and it's like if you do the math, it's not that much more.
It's not.
It's like a little bit more, but it's all done for you.
If you're a productive guy, especially.
Yeah.
But if you're a bum, then okay, bro, you gonna need a cook to keep yourself preoccupied. But if you're a guy that like you're a go-getter and you know what you're doing, dude, it's way less than people think to outsource cooking.
I tell my students to track how many hours they work on their business every week. Right, and then we see how much they made every week. Then we get what their hourly rate.
Bam.
Right. So.
Oh, that's the equation, bro.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah.
It's the hourly rate.
Yeah.
You had it with HCT, right?
Yep.
So it's like once you know what your hourly rate is, then anything you can pay to get done for less than your hourly rate, that means it's financially
sound.
Yeah, and it's almost financially irresponsible not to do it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I take it to the next level. And, some people would say, "Oh, he's lazy. He doesn't cook, clean." It's like, no. I do it so I can work more.
Yeah.
On the shit that will make me money.
Yeah.
Right. Cleaning the crib.
And that's how it goes in general.
Yeah.
That's how people scale businesses. They hire employees, so that they can focus on the main shit.
Bro. And even if you're an employee, some of this shit makes sense. Because you could focus on your job, maybe be more productive, get the overtime or what have you. I remember when the pandemic hit in New York, and New York was the first to shut down, so I couldn't get cleaning ladies or cooking motherfuckers. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I see another reason why these guys are getting married. These chicks is indentured servants.
Yep.
I get it now.
Yeah.